have a story from the end of my military career, and I'm gonna just tell the high spots. So I'm Denitra. I was in the military for 25 years, and I didn't reach the age that I had to retire. I didn't even have the time where I was forced to retire because of my rank or anything. I literally, my mom was getting sicker. So, because she was getting more sick, and because of the type of job that I had, it was so in high demand. I was the unit administrator Monday through Friday as a DA Army civilian, and I was the XO during drill weekend. And when new commanders were coming in, they weren't bringing their own XO, which is the second in charge, or their own first sergeant, who was the head enlisted. So, me and the first sergeant, especially me, I, um, I just basically was any new command that came in, I became their XO, which is stressful in and of itself, but that's not the story. So as she was getting sicker, I wanted to take a break. IRR is what we call it, in active ready reserve. That packet, no matter how I did it, and I was in charge of HR, in all admin functions and packages. So I had everything correct in just right dress, but no matter how I did the packet, it was being kicked back from our hire for something. If I would correct one thing, they would say another thing was wrong. If I would correct that thing, it would be another thing that kept the packet from going. I'm saying all that to say, at some point, I got so frustrated with the whole process, and I filed a retirement packet. Now, I knew for a fact that any retirement packets I had done up to this point, they never were processed on time. And I had a number of people that were held beyond their retirement time, waiting for their retirement packet to be processed. So, as I found that out, I just started even earlier filing for a person's retirement. Like if they were in year 19, I would go ahead and just start their packet, so that, or if they had their 20-year letter and they were thinking about it, I asked them how long they wanted to stay, and I would do it accordingly, according to that. So for a retirement packet, minimum amount of time it took to process those was 6 months. Maximum amount of time, a year or more. It shouldn't take all of that, but everything has to be correct in those packets. So for me, I wasn't able to do the inactive ready reserve. So I was like, okay, well, let me do a retirement packet because my mom is getting sicker and I need to be gone. So I went to a school just to make myself more marketable. Like once I retired, to make myself more marketable. Hey, Madness. Um, of course, they didn't want to send me to the school, but I had fought for the HR school. And this was a cybersecurity, medical systems, just good to have. And I had gotten a master's in health administration, so hey, everything was lining up. I mean, I'm a major for undergrad, but I wanted everything to be lined up with my master's degree. Because I was working as a unit administrator at a medical support unit in New Orleans, where the VA is, where Charity was. There's so many hospitals in New Orleans, and if I didn't want to work in New Orleans, there's satellite clinics and everything in from Slidell all the way to Hammond. And then Baton Rouge has a lot of hospitals. So it made perfect sense. I was a medic who commissioned. I was a field grade. I was a junior officer. So, and my master's degree was going to line up with the work that I actually was doing. So I was finishing up with my retirement with 12 years of service, actually doing what I went to school for my master's degree for. So, and that's the thing. I did all of that, and when I wanted to go to that other school for the cybersecurity piece, they wanted a stipulation. They were like, "Oh, we'll send you if you stop your retirement packet." Well, I wasn't going to do that because even if the class was only a 6-week class, and I'm telling you that a retirement packet takes up to from 6 months to a year. So it didn't make sense for a 6-week class that I would hold up a packet that on average takes 6 to 12 months to process. So I didn't. I didn't pull the packet, but I was able to make some phone calls to make sure that they didn't prevent me from going to my school. And my mentor that also worked at the office helped me along with it too. So I was able to go. I didn't know what was caused before I went. I didn't know that other calls had been made, and it had been kind of reported that that me and another one of the students that we went around our command, which did not happen. But because that was the impression that was set before we arrived, there was only 6 of us in the class, and for the 6, 2 of us had it particularly like rough, like we had a rough time. And it's not because of the subject matter, because everybody was at different levels. There was engineers, computer science majors. I was the only one that was administrative. And even the person that was in a medical command, they were administrative, but they had also done the computer science piece. So that's the setup to what ended up happening. So I didn't pull the packet. I went to the class, did wonderful in the class. I passed the CompTIA Security Plus, passed the test. I was the only person that was HR that was taking the test. I was the only one that were worried about not being able to pass, but I was able to pass. And I passed with the highest score out of the whole group, which was amazing. I didn't find that out until the end. Thank you, Meow. So I found that out at the end, which was a good detail. But the person that told me that I did the best on it, the reason why he told me that is because he knew we were going to get our 1059s. Your 1059 is your certificate in the write-up, not just a regular diploma. It's the official document that goes in your official military file that you completed the course. So, of course, since I completed the course and I got the top score for that particular test, it was a lot of the class that was outside of that test. Like for our field exercise, it was a 2-week field. We were in the field. We literally set up a fob, which is the tent with the telephone, fax machine, computer, the satellite. We did everything from scratch, like from top to bottom. We did all of that. That was part of passing, and you doing it as a group of 3. So we had 2 groups of 3. So your team had to we all had the same task, but we all had to decide in our group who was going to take care of what task. But there was multiple tasks that we had to do. So that being said, we all passed, because your group, everybody knew everybody. It was only 6 of us. So even though it was only us 3 on one team and the other 3, we made sure the best person the best person was assigned to the job. It wasn't really a race to see who could do it fastest. It was really who could complete it to completion. So once we both teams decided, hey, we're not going to race to get it done. We're just going to make sure that it's done properly. So passed, got the certification, came back. But before I came back, that retirement packet that I was saying, that I had just kind of filed not too long before that I left for this 6 weeks. Not only did they process the packet, they processed it without any of all of those issues that I was telling you that I just tried to take a break, the IRR, the inactive ready reserve, and they kicked it back so many times where I finally got frustrated and did the retirement packet because I have to be gone or whatever. They processed that packet in less than the 6 weeks that I was at the class. Didn't ask for anything else. Didn't do a QC to make sure. It was the weirdest thing. So I was like, wait a minute, no retirement packet is ever processed that fast. And in the process of being at the 6-week class, I went from like, I'm ready to go, I need to be gone, to where I met up with 5 other people, and I'm in a field that is not HR, it's cybersecurity, and I'm with engineers and computer science technicians, and I'm with another group of people that I'm never around. These aren't the medics. These aren't doctors and nurses that I'm always around. These aren't staff officers that are reporting in operations and training and logistics. These are cyber security, medical systems technicians. It's a whole new world, and it was so fun going through the class. So now it's like, oh, I see where I can do this, and you could do a lot of those jobs remotely. So I was like, oh, I was coming up with a plan over the 6 weeks or whatever. This is what I can do. This is how I could be there for my mom, and this is how I could stay in the military. I was doing all of those things, thinking all those things through. But before I made it back, the retirement packet was processed. An official order with an official date was done before I made it back. Weirdest thing ever. So I get back, and I'm trying to let them know, hey, well, these are the things that happen. I see my order is in here. And I was already working on the civilian side of seeing, because you had to have service or be in your uniform to be able to keep that federal job that I had, because I didn't have a medical issue. If I had a medical issue, they would have just changed me from DA civilian to DAC and retained me, no problem, no harm, no foul. So I'm trying to get everything situated. I'm just doing all of the things because I am the administrator. I'm the person. I'm the person at the unit that does these administrative packets. I'm talking about if you go to a school and they don't automatically award you your certification and add it to your AOC or MOS, I'm the person that puts that packet in. I'm the person that helps with whether it's the retirement packets or whether it's the a pay action. I was the pay administrator. I'm the person that does those things. So I know who to call, I know who to ask, I know how to. I'm the medical readiness officer. So if something isn't updated, or if you need appointments, or if the unit as a whole needed a set of medical appointments, I would be the one that would get with the other units in the building just to see if we had enough people to actually do the coordination from beginning to end. I always had a team, but there was a time where it was just me by myself. So when other employees started getting assigned, that only helped me. But again, I did have to learn how to do all of those functions by myself. And I had to actually function in and do some of those things by myself. Okay, so now it's my short story getting long. So I'm back. I'm trying to find out, hey, is this a done deal with the retirement packet? I bought more uniforms. I'm ready to, if I have to stay. But the pandemic is going on. And we even were in isolation 2 of the 6 weeks before that we had to quarantine, before we all met together in the classroom for 2 weeks. And then we did the 2 weeks at the end in the fields, all around each other. But we're literally in the middle or toward the end of a pandemic. It's just a lot going on. And we had unfortunately, during the pandemic, with the isolation, we are a medical unit, so everybody was high stress, overworked. It was a lot going on, and we lost one of our medics, not because of the coronavirus, but they committed a successful suicide. And I'm saying a successful suicide because you can make an attempt and not die. And this was coordinated, planned out. It was just horrible. And it took a real toll on me because it was one of our best soldiers. Like, he was a favorite for everybody. Quiet, reserved, and everything. But boy, could you depend on him. And boy, did he help so many people. He was a gentle giant. He was a gentle giant. And he was a gentle giant that was hurting. And the isolation of the pandemic just exasperated his personality, what was going on, what was going on in his family, the responsibility that he had. It just was a lot. So anyway, and it's not anyway, but just so that I could move on with the story. So I make it back. I'm asking, like, is this a done deal? Like, could something be done, or is it, do I just serve out until it's time for me to, on the effective date for this retirement? And what does that mean for my civilian job? Because I did ask for a year extension beyond when I retired, just to get settled and to get situated. And we are in the middle of a pandemic where we were on a mandated isolation for a while, and then we're in and out of the building. It's infested with molds, just a lot of stuff going on with the building itself. And someone threw a party in the building because everything was canceling because of the pandemic. So they threw a party, and then the higher up found out. So now we aren't even cleared to go in the building until they can see if these people that did this party in the building, in the military federal building, if the building is diseased, it's molded, but now is it molded and full of corona? It just was a big mess. And I know as civilians, y'all can't even possibly know the stuff that really does happen. It is so crazy. Some of the stuff, the unbelievable stuff that happens. Y'all are like, oh, military, y'all are protecting and serving, and y'all are making sure that we are always safe. When I tell you, not everybody, but there are some, like how they have world's dumbest criminals, they have world's dumbest soldiers. And They come in all shapes and sizes and ages. Because if you were having a birthday party and an event space closed because we are a hot spot, as New Orleans, a hot spot in the middle of a pandemic, that means cancel your damn party. Cancel the damn party. Not have an event space canceled and you decide, oh, you know what? There's that empty Federal Reserve building that nobody is in, that nobody will find out that we had a birthday party in. Like nobody's there. They won't find out. Hell yeah, they're gonna find out. Because number one, you're not going to just have the birthday party. You're going to have the birthday party and you will put that thing on social media. You will put that on social media. And that soldier who you aggravate the hell out of them at drill is going to see said video. You don't have to be their Facebook friend. They will see that their sergeant that gives them hell has a party going on that they just had to put on social media, and they're going to see, hey, that looks like the unit. I thought the unit was closed. I've been trying to call the unit because my pay is messed up. I've been trying to call the unit and nobody is answering, and all their voicemails and emails say that they're not there. Somebody is there because they're having a party. That's basically how it went down. The person did not keep it discreet that they had the party. So again, it went up the ranks and they found out, damn, we had a party in the heart of the pandemic that has been held here. So now they say, oh, we have to inspect the building to make sure that it's okay for y'all to come back to work. But what do they find? They find the years worth of stuff that we've been reporting as wrong with the building before these people had this party. I wouldn't have wanted to have the party. That building is nasty. But desperation, I was like, ugh. But anyway, so they do said inspection to see if our building is safe for us to come back to the building. And now they've discovered all this stuff that we've been kind of reporting on the side, but we were in the back burner because there's wars going on. There's a pandemic going on. So us saying, oh, the building is molded and the cleaning contract, one person is showing up and they're half cleaning the building and we're trying to help them clean the building, but it's been rough. They discover all that. They discover all the pests. They discover the humidity that comes in. They discover not just your regular mildew that's on the furniture, because they got not leather seats, but they got cheap with some of the stuff. It is cloth. They discovered just so much, and now nobody can go in the building. None of us can go in the building. So I'm trying to do everything that I need to do with a small amount of time to do it. I'm trying to do it by way of phone call. I don't have any people that I could be in their face to say, hey, I can't prove just because I sent an email that you got my email. I can't prove because I said that I left you a message that you ever got my message. So I am communicating with nothing on the other end. And even a read receipt doesn't work because we've been there long enough and we've had enough. The longer you're at any administrative job, you know workarounds. So you know how to make sure that someone can't figure out that you've read an email, but you did read it. Log in from a different device than your government device, and it's just so many ways or whatever for you to be able to get around and not respond. So that's what ended up happening. Now I've gotten to the effective date. But I still have my job and nobody has contacted me. But I still have to work out something permanent because, now my mom has gotten really sick and she had her first stroke. And then it just went down from there. So it did get so bad to where I couldn't go. Where are you from? It's Louisiana, and this unit is in New Orleans. This reserve center is in New Orleans. Yes, the food. We couldn't even bribe anybody with food to say let us in the building and we'll cook for y'all. They didn't want any of that because New Orleans was a hot spot. So they were like, "I'll pass." Y'all became a super spreader because y'all went ahead and had Mardi Gras anyway. And y'all spread it. Oh, because we were partying for Mardi Gras. It was that February, and everything shut down by March. Everything shut down by March. All we had to do was sit our asses down for February, but everybody was like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not real." So we're drinking, hugging, dancing. We are having a funky good time or whatever. But yeah, so I'm out of time. My retirement is effective. It's November 2020, but I'm still at my civilian job. Now January happens. My mom has a stroke like around drill weekend. We're still doing remote because we can't go in the building. So we're figuring out, and I have to do the pay, and I have to figure out how to effectively do the pay with nobody able to come to drill, but we can't let everything hold up until everybody figures out how to get everything to me. So I'm being creative and stuff, but it was non-sustainable. I'm trying to do pay, and my mom is in a hospital room, and the regular line isn't secure, and we have to do a VPN, and the nurse station is trying to give me their secret squirrel password so that it's a little bit more secure. Help, and I asked for the person that is reporting, because we did have a new person reporting. They had access to know how to pay, but they were trying to say only one of us could have it. So I was like, at this point, just give my pay access to her. I'm better at it and she's newer, but just for the security of it, could you just go ahead and give it to her? And they just got frustrated from it. They were still frustrated about the class that I went to. They were still frustrated because now they're catching up to the emails of me desperately trying to figure out that retirement thing before. We still actively into the investigation, because even if you leave a letter, which a soldier did leave a letter, you still have to investigate. So we probably just finished that, and then we had a soldier that was murdered. Never happened. All of these things have never happened. A pandemic, a suicide, a murder, none of my whole 25 years as a medical, as a medic and a medical service corps. And you would think we are a medical unit, but when we mob or deploy, you can volunteer. So you get an involuntary assignment that says somebody or somebody's, because it could be multiple, have to go downrange. But because we're medical and we have an asset of 50 or more in the unit, a medic can volunteer if they need lab, whatever it is, the volunteers could go first. So even if they assigned this person because they need a name, and they assigned this person and the person was like, I really don't want to go, and we're like, you have to find your replacement, it is very easy to find a replacement, because in a unit with that many people, you would there is going to be somebody that actually does want to deploy. I mean, there's going to be somebody, and sometimes you have multiple choices of multiple people's like, oh, if they don't want to go, I want to go. And then you'll have people that have been there before, and they were like, I know the area, we helped set up the area, so I am very willing to go. So all of that is happening. But we never lost anybody, because when our medical asset would be attached to these units that are downrange, I don't know if it was the prayers of the unit, if it was the prayers of their grandmother, or just good old fashioned luck and position, and how the unit itself took care of their medical asset, who was like their only one or two people that was there to cover all of their medical. They took good care of them, and they always came back safe. So to that is a blessing that I can honestly say, for up to 24 years of my 25 years, there had not been a death of a direct soldier in the unit. A blessing, and I'm thankful. But now we had, within a year's time, it was two. And it was two that it seemed like if we weren't isolated, or if we were like all together, then you'd have eyeballs on somebody. Like you'd see them at least that once a month or whatever, or maybe somebody is checking in, if they are only checking in to see, hey, are you coming to drill? Hey, you wasn't at drill, like what's going on? Hey, I'm just calling to check on you. So it's different things that happen. um so all of this is going on, but I'm still there. But in January, when I asked for that help, they were over it. I had just got a raise in December too, for a job well done, for 12 years of a job well done. It was actually my first. I had gotten a bonus before, and I had gotten accolades or a certificate before, but I'd never gotten a bonus because of my job performance. And everybody approved of it on every level, and nobody fought it. So I got my first raise in December, and I was fired or terminated from my job in mid toward the end of Jan. And less than a month later, I was terminated from the job because I asked for someone else to be able to do pay. And I even told them, I was like, for you to advertise, because they were like, basically they just wanted to advertise my position. I was like, if you advertise my position, I have to be terminated from my position for you to be able to advertise the position. And they were like, hey, it's not personal. Well, it felt very personal because we're in the middle of a pandemic. I had done so much. I had volunteered so much, because I was the soldier that was divorced, that didn't have kids, didn't have pets. So if they had last minute missions to go to, I would go. Which is why they wouldn't let me mobilize where I could make three times the money doing one thing. I was making three times less in the same spot, doing it for everybody, doing multiple things or whatever. But it was the pay compared as a DA civilian, compared to what I would make as a commission captain who got credit for all of my enlisted years, the 12 years that I was enlisted, making it to staff sergeant before I direct commission. So 25 years of 24, 25 years of service. It was 25 when I retired, but at that point it was like 24 years of service. I had captain rank, but I got paid like I was a major. It just was a lot, that part, or that side of me, gets paid as compared to what I would get paid as a GS7 that became a GS9 DA civilian. It's not even, the pay doesn't even compare. I make so much more as a soldier than I made as a civilian. So, but fired, terminated. And it wasn't just your average termination. It happened in the middle of the pandemic. They never were able to hire anybody in that position, by the way, which is really like the worst. And I did and I was 24-hour, 24/7. It was me and my sister doing the caregiving for my mom. She's still alive. I want to lead with that. She's still alive because of the retirement, because of me and my sister being there, and my dad. And he had a bad accident, so me and my sister were able to take care of both of them. They're both still alive, they're both doing well, but it was a testament to, I wasn't off at some military location, but it did take a toll on me, like as a person that takes care of 60 plus people per month, and not having the husband here or not having the kids, and it was just me in the house, and I was living out of a bag half the time because I was going all the time. Now I have the space in the house. I have the 4 bedroom house that I did one of the rooms as an office. Well, I have the space, but my mom's in one room being cared for, and my dad, when he had an accident the month later, he's in the other room being cared for. And my sister with my 2 nieces and my nephew, everybody is at least there at hours in the day just to help with the task that we need to do. And with the strokes, she had another one in February. So with the strokes, the 2 strokes at that time, it was really doing everything. And then my dad shattered his arm and his hip. So they are 2 super independent people who now have to depend on their daughters to do everything. So it was very overwhelming. And I went from an empty house to a full house at all times. So mentally it was really, really a lot. And I don't want to make it depressing. What I'm saying is there's a lot of stuff where you could prep. The purpose of me even doing the live, I had prepped for retirement. So I was a reservist who only had 5 years active. That means my retirement check is not going to come until I'm 70 years old. But I'm retiring at 44. So that means you have to have something lined up. I asked for the year to do my cushion of doing my interviews, making sure that am I going to be on at the VA, because I know people at the VA. We're a medical unit that's in New Orleans. We're one of the biggest VA systems in the country. Um, and my mentors work there. A lot of my mentors work there. So it's making sure, do I have this lined up? um do I have something else lined up? But that caregiving thing 24/7, you can't work during that time. You can't even work remotely during that time because you still have deadlines. And some people that were remote, they made their employees do even more. It's like, you're remote. I want to prove that you're working. Well, if I didn't do 5 spreadsheets to prove that I was working before the pandemic or before I worked remote, why am I doing these 5 spreadsheets? It became, some of the stuff was busy work. So you're doing busy work on top of the real work, and it had to get done. But I had to turn that. So I don't have this. I don't have that. And then if I'm telling anybody, the process of caregiving was a whole year. It actually is still going on to this day. But the part where we could not be gone, or someone always has to be there at all times, that happened over a year. Oh, it was for over a year. That means I'm out of I'm out of rotation. I'm not doing any HR. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm not doing any of the cybersecurity. I'm keeping up my certifications, but I'm not actively doing this. I'm not actively doing the thing. And then I answered a question wrong when it was unemployment time to do the filing. It was one of the questions. Well, it wasn't one of the questions. It was their main question: Are you available to work at any time? And I was answering honestly, with the explanation. Well, at this time, no, it can't be any time or any job you give me. If you gave me a remote, I could work with it. That's how I would have been able to answer if somebody was live in an unemployment office, and they would have been able to say, hey, when you answer this question like this, as soon as you check the no, you're disqualified for unemployment. But nobody was there. And then to be able to try to fix that after the fact with no one being in those offices and a loop in the automated system, it just didn't get fixed until a year and a half later. And then after the year and a half later, I didn't have those months of certified work to get the unemployment like after the fact. So it was like a perfect storm of things that actually happened. And I also wasn't able to get in touch with anybody to speak on my behalf with what happened with the civilian job either, because it was a brand new commander that came in. The commander who was there and all the commanders before that knew me, they were all retired. They weren't even in the military anymore for them to be able to make a phone call. And even the people that they were able to call, if they were able to call and pull a favor or do a favor for me, nobody really had to do it because we're in the middle of a pandemic. And now you find out who actually was doing work Monday through Friday and who was just faking it till they make it. Because when there's nobody on the other end of that phone, or when the one or two people that do all the work are the ones that are getting bogged down with all the calls, they get tapped out and they get wore out. And they say how unfair it is that this person never answers their phone, and how are they responsible for everything. So it's been a process. So I redid resume. I called everybody that I knew. I did an investigation for the firing, and I did the levels where you have to go through state investigation, then it goes up to federal. So I did all the things right. They closed ranks. They were like, "Oh, well, she already knew this." Then I said, "There's a letter where I was extended and it was agreed to." And they were like, "No, unless you could find it." I know where it is. It was on the desktop. I print everything, but that's the one thing that I didn't have time to print before I turned in the laptop, or before everything happened. Because like I said, it was a lot of things that happened that were not the norm. So with all those things that happened that were not the norm, I just got caught in the loop of, you take care of everybody. You had even kind of sort of started taking care of yours. I made sure my TSP was lined up. I invested in cryptocurrency, not in Bitcoin, but Ethereum. I had invested in that because it was just cheaper, and then they had a run, and I got that money out. But I was aggressive with my TSP, so that kind of grew kind of fast toward the end. But during that year and a half to 2 years that I was out, all that money that was gone. It was just gone, because it's like I made. I'm not saying I made six figures at my job, but I did make on the 70,000 to 80,000 in, and now I have zero. And now that 30,000 in retirement, or that $10,000 that I made from a run in Ethereum, or even the stocks that I had invested in. They were doing well, but it was like expenses. It was mortgage that needed to be paid with the insurance and stuff or whatever. So it is really, really been so crazy. Then we had this thing where our property value like skyrocketed, but I'm not in a position now where everything is paid on time. So that good credit that good score is now a horrid credit score, just from the late payments or hustling, because I am doing substitute teaching, and I did background extra. I did events where I was where you do the security for the events, the concerts and the games, and ride share. I even did pretty good. But with the ride share, it's the wear and tear on your car. It's the gas that you're putting in the car. It's just, I was getting sick all the time because there's so many people that are in and out. I was 5 star, top tier. I got up to diamond status in with Uber, for instance, Uber Pro, and I did over 1,600 rides. So it was over like almost 1,300 were rides with people in the vehicle, and the other ones was deliveries. It just was a lot, and I did all of that like in 10 months. But not only did I wear down the car, I wore down myself, because at that point I was just trying to make up for everything that I wasn't able to pay for like one of those years. It's like you kind of can keep up, and then that snowball effect happens, and you're just trying and you're trying, and then they have so many things that I've recommended to soldiers that were getting out, and making sure that they have it. And again, I just didn't have time to get everything done. Even with my VA claims, for instance, because I've been denied 3 times. And I asked for a hearing on this last one, and I haven't heard back. But I haven't heard back because when I did my third and final, not third and final, but my third, that, okay, you've been denied twice, do it this third time and just fight it all the way to the end. Everybody was fired from their jobs. Like these government entities, of everybody who I could call, or the people that I was even following up with the wrongful termination. It's just like there is nobody on the other end. It's an AI generated phone loop, or they're contracting people who are just at their houses to answer the phone and say, hey, I'm a live person, but you need to go and email, so it's been crazy, or whatever. It's been really, really crazy. And I'm an author, so I write, and I was building a brand, to where I had business things that I learned that I know that would benefit other people. So I have a whole digital library, the digital files. It's a whole virtual library where I just went over some of these things that you don't have to learn this the hard way. You don't have to study for that test, that Security Plus test through CompTIA, and struggle with it. I have study guides, I have these things. Or you don't have to figure out how to do a website. I know how to do a website. You don't have to figure out how to do your LinkedIn or your beacons, your email tree. I know how to do that. It's things that I learned trying to do that. You don't have to learn how to do reels. I know how to do reels. I know how to survive on TikTok. I know how to build your TikTok up for your 1,000 people that you need for live. It's so many things that I've learned over these years of not being in the job, and while I was caregiving. Definitely, I'm not the big voice. I'm not the boisterous voice. So the person who doesn't really know how to do your website is the person that you're going to, and you're paying a lot of money for them not to effectively do your website. those business tips that could save you. I'm not your authority that you're coming to, even though I have it packaged and it is there and it is good and it is real and everything is there. You're not gonna listen. You're not listening to me or whatever. So now I started doing, instead of doing that, I still have those things available. They're still available. Get Rich or Cry Trying is there. Exposing the Squeeze, solutions to it. That's still there with a website for all of the things that you would need to make it through, or that you would need before there was so many layoffs. Like those things are there, but I pivoted and I was like, I'm going to do something fun just for mentally, for me to be able to. And there's other background things that, go with this. But I was like, oh, AI. I have an avatar. I have an avatar that I created in December of 21 that everybody was like, no, you need to focus on this one thing and monetize this one thing. But that was so fun to me. So I put it down I did it from December 2021 to maybe February or March of 2022. And career coaches or paid coaches, because you're paying them. No, you need to do this. You need to, Alex, you need to focus on this. So I did that thing. AK, you need to do this. So I'm doing that thing. And then AI blows up. And I'm like, that's what I was doing. That's what I enjoyed. That's what I was like, that I liked. But the people that actually advised me to not do it, they actually did it and monetized from it. So that's a testament to, if you enjoy something and you find something that you love, do not under any circumstances, whether you paid that coach, that life coach, whether you paid that person, or whether you got some advice from your friend who is worried about you, like, how are you going to make it because you made all this money and you were the leader and you were the exo and you were there and you're not in that military uniform and you have all this education. Why are you not using your degrees or whatever? I was like, I'm trying. I'm either overqualified for these jobs or I'm underqualified now, only because I'm not competing with people that have a master's degree. I'm competing with somebody that has a PhD or a doctorate that is also out of their job. So, in those part-time jobs, I'm working myself into the ground just to make a fraction of what I was making. So that's not a sob story for me, but it was a testament to say I was working on some things that were not only fun for me, but I was good at, and I was getting better at it. I did my avatars. I did I do content, wonderful content, entertaining content. You're learning from it. You're having a good time when you're looking at it. Check out my stories, by the way. I do a lot of shorts here, but I have a lot more I have a lot more drafts to do, like to even introduce here. So I have maybe 300, well, I did almost over 300 applications for different positions, full-time positions. And I just did the work that I needed to do in the meantime. But I I've done this content, and TikTok gives me such a hard time on their particular platform and they don't push my content out, but you could actually still use their software along with CapCut and along with Canva. TikTok does allow like editing that I was able to kind of, I don't have raw pieces when I do any video. It's hardly ever just a video that I just snatched. I'm working with it. I am picking a favorite song, and I'm making sure that the speed is right and that the drop in the music with the avatar moving or doing a thing, aka the avatar, some, and DNG Cajun Kiss or KK. They are living their best lives and they have friends. Like I've created, if you bought my AI book to do or to create your own avatar, I do have a service where I'll create it for you. So for about 4 or 5 people, I created their avatar in my world. So we're hanging, we're going out, having a good time. But you could also teach with it, and I teach with mine. So some of those hard topics that I know for a fact that I put this face on this Beyonce's internet, and I have talked about those things and I have brought up those topics, but it just wasn't palatable. I don't want to hear you talking about this. I don't want to be depressed. This is too depressing. I'm living it. I don't want to hear you talk about it. My avatar, aka the avatar, same content, similar, but a different delivery. She's having fun because I know how to talk with the avatar. She's having fun. She's telling you about some things. Then, if you don't want to hear anything, you just want to see them dance. Some in KK are in the afterglow in that multiverse having the time of their life. They are going clubbing with their girls. They're going out for drinks. They are going to weddings. There's like weddings and birthday parties. They're going to the strip clubs. They're just having a funky good time. They're chilling at their own house. They have a club, you know, each one of them, they have their own club that they're building from scratch on a platform where there's so many people that are already doing parties. So they have to be creative. Who do I invite? But they're meeting wonderful people while they're building their club up. So that 1 or 2 people that come in the club that whole day, those become associates or friends in that multiverse. And those people, some of them are DJs, some of them are architects that build other rooms, some of them just have some of them do the photo gallery to give the tips on how to optimize your gallery so that you have the best gallery there. One of my sister friends, she's real good with she loves ChatGPT. So I like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and now Manus, but she loves it. So she is out. So if I am trying to describe a room or to get the profile just right, she drops it in there, does that QC, was like, how do you like this? Still add your voice, still add to it. But it's just a lot of help. With the clothes, she's a pro at the right outfit with the right color scheme for the room that you're entering into, telling me how to decorate my space, where even if I got a free download for a space, how to make that space my own. Do you want to darken up the space? Do you want to lighten up the space? Or is there a painting on the wall that you don't like? This is how you change it. If there's something, a piece of furniture that you want to change the color, she knows all of that. And how to take your regular avatar and you can create it to where it's realistic, to where you know, hey, this is your avatar in real life. It's just fun. It's just fun. But I know how to do all those things, and I'm learning even more every day. And I have done some lives where I have come here And I'm trying to figure out how to stream in both TikTok and in YouTube. I've done that a couple of times. It hasn't worked where been able to double stream, but I come and like, oh, look at this. I want you to see the process. And the lives is cool, but I do have it to where I was trying to see the interest. Like, oh, do you want me to do a class on this? Yeah, class could kind of be fun for me to do a class on it. So I have that QRC code for that. I'm just, I'm here to serve while I am actually working on myself or recreating myself. And I know these platforms are designed just like any other thing, where the people that have been here for a long time, they are in the front. They are in your front feed. I understand that. And I'm like, I'm not tardy for the party, but I've tried different platforms and I've tried different things. And I don't like to just stay at the one thing. So I have done the more moving around. And I haven't done the moving around because something happened. Well, TikTok stuff was happening on TikTok. But for the most part, I am consistent on this growth journey. I've been doing these things since 2021. And my algorithm doesn't reflect that, but that doesn't mean that I'm not doing the consistent work and doing it. And I have a voice. I love to storytell. I love to teach. So I'm going to just keep on showing up here until, but again, I'm talking to myself now, which is fine because I know how to hold space until everybody comes. And I do appreciate Meow Meow for coming through. That was amazing, having that interaction. Um, and until I make my place in the algorithm where I'm in the front, then I'll just show up. But look, my shorts are there. I have videos. I even have posts because one particular year I promised myself that I would just post every opportunity I got with no one seeing any of the posts. I just showed up. I was doing a door-to-door sales for AT&T fiber. And since I was out doing that, I saw things. And even when I was working in New Orleans, I saw things that I didn't see when I was at the unit there and when I was working there full time. Or when we were going out for drill, you would see things, but I had time, hours on the day of trying to sell something. Well, you were trying not to sell, you were trying to sell yourself, whatever. Like, they want to buy the fiber cable from you instead of buying it from some automated cold call. So, but I saw things and I was able to take pictures and just capture it. So even though that was a stressful time for me doing that door to door and not knowing what was on the other side of the door and just not being I'm used to and I like being good at things, but that was just something that I really was not the best at. So it was challenging for me, and it was challenging the need that I have that I could do all the right things and I could work a whole day but not, no one buys anything, no, like what, nobody does any order. And because they didn't do any order, I just worked all day with zero. So, and then my mom was had two more strokes by that time. So it was pretty a pretty stressful time. So but I did take pictures while I was out, so that was fun, of being able to do those pictures while I was out. and make content from that. So I was able to do that, and I promised myself that I would do posts with that. So I'd have, and I love quotes and sayings and affirmations. So those are wrapped around that period of time. I have kind of recorded. So, in the content of me starting and stopping here, because it's just it's more one of the more difficult platforms to kind of try to figure out, or to the algorithm and how to connect and everything. But you just have to actually show up. So I showed up in different places at different stages. So what I'm doing now is every piece of information that I gained during that time, I'm going to show up. And this is a very, very long video, but it was a long live because I needed to kind of give my ground and my backstory of everything that's going on. Shorts are there, videos are there, posts are there. It's like whatever my journey is, and you could always pivot. It's a testament of how you could pivot. I was even starting my locks around the time that I started this page. Oh, and it also was a testament, and you'll see in my shorts and a couple of my videos, and even one or two of my posts, where I was here for a kind of long time, stuck around 20 to 25 subscribers for a long time. But one day I was like, no, if it's 50 people needed to be able to do this live stream, I'm going to do and show up and do whatever I need within my power to make sure that it's done. And you have those people where you get so close to, and they kind of, a couple fall off here because you're like really inundating them from a somewhat stagnant account to where you're just doing stuff all the time. Like, you're doing too much. You're doing the most. I don't want to see all this in my feed. I'm tired of seeing your name in my feed. The Divine CEO, another post, another short. But I had so much content. I still have so much content to share that y'all have not even seen. But yeah, the shorts are there. Please watch. Everything isn't going to be for you. I know that everything is not going to be for you, but the stuff that is, you are going to enjoy it. I promise you're going to enjoy it. So check that out, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, for the pivot, this is my last thing. For the pivot, you're never so high in whatever it was that you were doing, whatever it was, that you had so many degrees or you had so much years. You know how they're like, oh, everybody loves the veterans, everybody loves the soldiers. Well, it's been proven, and I could tell you that even with the love that people have for the soldiers and everything, if there's no jobs, or there's a lesson to be learned from God, or you have to know how to show up in the universe for yourself, or you got to do the work on yourself, or you got to focus, or you got to attract, you have to attract positive, like whatever the lesson to break your cycle. If you're going in a cycle, you have to get out of that relationship, or you got to clean up that space, because I still got work to do in there. Because despair lived there, and despair is no longer in me, so despair can't be in my space anymore. Like, for me to move forward, or for me to figure out, well, why am I not breaking through? You have to get that despair off of you, you know. these eyes, my eyes naturally are half closed like this, but I can't open them. It's just not my natural thing, but you can kind of see in my eyes I've been going through some things. And it is time for me to be on the other side. I've done the breakthrough, or I've done what I thought. Oh, I learned my lesson, I'm at the breakthrough. And then that test comes, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta start all over. But you're never at a point or a pinnacle where you won't have to start over. Tina Turner did it. I'm not comparing myself and saying I'm Tina Turner, but I am Denitra Cantrell Alexander, AK D, what my friends, close friends call me. But I'm very important, and I have a good message, and my loved ones are. I am the person. I am the one. And no, I don't believe in linear time as much. I believe in relative time. So I know whenever this breakthrough does come, it's resets. It resets wherever I think that I wasted so much time, or it's so much waste of time. I know when I hit that actual breakthrough, where the couple of tests that follow the breakthrough I pass, and I'm on the other side of this despair. I'm on the other side of these challenges, and I have the tools that I need to know that every day is not a perfect day, but you still got to show up. When I'm on the other side of that, my gosh, my gosh, I think time is going to almost stop. Like this linear time that is like going like this is because it's like that's the fire on me. People are getting sicker. You getting sick too. People are out here depressed. Like, where are you? Yes, you could write. Yes, you can learn quickly. But where are you? We are not hearing you. Where is your story? Yeah, you could tell a good story. More people need to hear your story. So I'm here. God, I'm here. Universe, I'm open for all of the positive overflow that you said, that God said that I had. I know it's there. Ancestors, I am here. I have pulled up to the party. I'm not gonna leave with my ball from the playground because something does not go my way. I'm gonna keep on showing up. But check out my shorts. Check out my link in the I have lots of links, but support, and if this is something that you like, because I am going to keep this open. I'm going to open this up all 73 minutes of it now. It'll probably be 75 when I tie a nice bow. But check out the links. I have a lot of resources. I'm not asking for a handout for anybody, but there is help that I need. There is I have custody of my nephews now. I'm trying to trying to get custody for my niece. She was supposed to come this weekend for the summer. That's about to not happen. It's not a real reason that was made up, that she was forced to make up last night as why she's not coming. I have a mortgage. I I have bills. It's so much. And I have been blessed since 2021 that I am still in my home. Vehicles changed, not in my control, but I'm still in the home. But I still do need, I need help motivation wise, help financial wise, help just reassuring, hey, we hear you, we see you, we love you. I love y'all. And I apologize that it's taken me this long to really have the long conversation. I've had some conversations that have been 5, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a good 15, 20, but I'm here. AK.